the first episode of the new year. I'm Ileana James, joined by Maddie Conrad, and tonight we have some sports stories with world news sprinkled in.
Seneca Valley's wrestling team took on Mullis High School this past Wednesday, where they took home a victory of 52-12. 10 out of the 13 varsity starters won their matches. With a mixture of wins through the matchups, there were various pins, with Connor Smith, Zach Hill, James Badoli having pins along with numerous forfeits included because of the lack of wrestlers Mullis had. Next match is this Wednesday against Pine Richland at home. Make sure to come out and support your Raiders.
Overnight, the 16-year-old feminine Luke Litterer has become a sports sensation in Great Britain. Litterer has become a world dart champion. The World Darts Tournament is an annual professional event in the world of darts. The biggest name in darts comes from all around the world to compete in this luxurious tournament. He would be the youngest person to win it, and he came into the tournament unseeded. Even though the fame is new to the teenager, that hasn't stopped him from performing match after match. He is cool under pressure and has a combination of accuracy and confidence to his game. He will face a fellow Englishman in this Wednesday final, looking to collect a $500,000 pound prize. Good luck, Luke.
Florida State lost dramatically to the Georgia Bulldogs in the Orange Bowl by a score of 63-3. Florida State didn't make it into the playoffs this year, and many fans felt that they got snubbed. The Georgia fans went to social media to defend that it is right that they were off the list after the game. The Orange Bowl had both teams at a disadvantage because many players opt out on both sides in the pursuit of an NFL career. Florida State fans were hoping for a win because it'd make a statement to being left off the playoff list. But many were disappointed, with one fan writing, quote, "Florida State sucks," end quote. Coach Norvell was asked after the game if he would have skipped the game because of being left off the playoff list, as a rumor suggested. Norvell denied those rumors at the conference. Now for even more sports stories you may have missed, let's check in with Sophia.
Thanks, Maddie. Last Sunday, in the fourth quarter of basketball games, LSU and Northwestern State, LSU coach Kim Muckley was ejected after an argument with one of the officials' players, Onisha Morrow, was charged with a charging foul, leading to a double technical. Although Muckley was escorted out of the building, she had gotten a standing ovation from the crowd, who seemed to disagree with the referee's decision. Lead soccer for LSU, Angel Reese, who had 64 points and 14 assists with the game, was seen holding Kim Muckley back during the verbal altercation. Muckley said to the press later on, quote, it was precious. Angel was grabbing me and she was yelling, Kramer, come help me. She was calling for one of my sons in the stands to come get me, end quote. After the game, the team, as well as Kim, were able to laugh at the situation, even though LSU beat Northwestern State with the score of 81-36. LSU illustrates their passion and the support for their team. And the coaches move over to the Steelers. Now to move over to the Steelers. Mason Rudolph helped save Christmas for the Pittsburgh team. The Steelers had won due to Rudolph leading the victory against the Bengals. At home on December 23rd, the final score was 34-11. Kenny Pickett being hurt and Mitch Trubisky being benched due to inability to serve his team well. Rudolph has begun playing for Steelers again after being benched for 769 days. Head coach of the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, told the press they benched Trubisky because, quote, it's all about the offense, lack of productivity, end quote. Critics are happy to see Mason Rudolph back out there playing, and he could help the Steelers right before Christmas. Moving back to Ileana for the international news.
This week, a deadly pair of explosions occurred in the Iranian city of Kerman. These blasts are reported to have claimed the lives of over 100 people. It was first reported to have occurred on Wednesday, January 3rd at roughly 3 p.m. local time. At least one of the explosions was reported to have been a remote car bomb. Iranian officials believe that this was motivated by a terror attack. Tensions in the region have been on the rise ever since the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war. These explosions occurred right outside the burial site of slain military commander Qasem Soleimani, who was killed by a U.S. airstrike in January 2020. These claims of terrorism have yet to be proven, and no perpetrators have been identified yet.
A massive earthquake in Japan has set off tsunamis, fires, and multiple aftershocks. A magnitude 7.6 earthquake hit Ishikawa on the country's main island, Honshu, on January 1st. After effects from this massive earthquake that killed many people have been going on all week starting on the New Year's, leaving many buildings and people's homes destroyed. A scientist at Kyoto University named Takuya Nishimura stated that, quote, "It's probably the largest earthquake in the western area of Japan," end quote. Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world because it sits on top of 4 converging tectonic plates that constantly grind together. Japan gets about 1,500 earthquakes every year, and they are prepared for when another quake strikes.
With some more positive news that the small suburban town of Falls Creek near Vancouver, Canada, has found a new way to use its citizens' wastewater. The town has begun harnessing heat from sewers that accompany the waste of washing machines, dishwashers, and people taking long, hot showers and converting it back into thermal energy. Located below a Vancouver bridge, an energy center sits on top of the exiting sewage pumping station to capture heat before it reaches the treatment plant. Derek Pope, manager of Vancouver's energy systems, had this to say, quote, "What's really exciting is that our heat recovery system operates at efficiencies of over 300%. So for every unit of electricity that we put in to run the heat pump, we will get over 3 units of thermal energy or heat out of it. Scientists hope other cities and towns will adopt this renewable energy in the upcoming years," end quote. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.